about a year from the time I started planning to the time I actually traveled to the US. I searched for some companies. My dad went with me to some of them. We went to some interviews. I learned and I went a little bit deeper to know what the program was really about. My first year as an au pair was really like adapting to the language, to listen to English 24/7, and to live in a different culture. Not only was I living in a different culture, but I was also living with a family that had a third culture that is also different from the culture of the US. And these experiences taught me how to say no, how to put in limits, to be away from my parents, to deal with how I miss them, to deal and to learn more about myself and who I was. And it was really a learning experience. And I can't say it was a great year. I can say that we were super friends, but I can say that I finished my year with them. And I then find my second family, which was a totally different experience. We really got to be friends. We're friends even today. And I've learned a lot from them. I've gained a lot of insights. And they also are entrepreneurs. So I just love them a lot. They're Americans. And I got to really improve my English, and at the same time where I had this great family and I had this great second year experience with them, I met someone in that year, and I really was in a relationship that was very hard for me to get out of. I think it was the first time where I experienced some toxicity in my life where I didn't even know how to deal with it. I kept on doing excuses, making excuses for this person, and it went along for a couple years, I would say 2 years. And so this year that I met my second host family was a great year with them, but it was a very hard year from the connections that I was making. And then that relationship came on to an end finally, and I went to school. I started studying early childhood development. I took a year break where I wasn't dating anybody, and I was really focused on going to the gym and reading self-help books. I also had many good friends that helped me to take me out of that environment and that situation. I had a great year of conquering small things and small victories where I conquered a new car. I was living by myself in a basement at the time. I also bought my first apartment in Brazil, and I was really thinking about writing my story. And I started on writing about my experience in the US and how everything happened when I came from Brazil to the US, right? And then on the end of next year, that was really like the year where I conquered a lot of things, that I discovered a lot about myself. I was very proud of everything I had been through. I happened to meet my now husband, and then we started dating. I graduated 2 years later. We were still dating. I moved to Luxembourg, which is another city 4 hours away from where I used to live, and our relationship just grew. It grew stronger. I was very inspired. I launched English Me Ida in 2022, and I've been doing private classes for my students since then.